Guys, it's Lisa. I hope you're all really well. I just wanted to come on today and do a really quick upload for you on my new Elbesee lap stand frame. So I've had a lot of questions since I did a kind of a brief introduction to this. So I filmed some craft vlog videos while I was on holiday a couple of weeks ago, and I got a lot of questions about this both through YouTube and also through my Instagram account as well. So I just wanted to take a bit of time to show you some of the key things about this. I'm really enjoying working with this stand, and yeah, I just wanted to share sort of some early thoughts and opinions with you in terms of how things are going. So this was based on, I watched a video by Cross Stitch with Luda, who was showing off her Class and Guessman lap frame, and I really liked it. I thought that would be handy because I travel a lot and I work off the Monstrix frame, so it's quite a big cumbersome frame, and I thought, well, it would be nice sometimes to be a little bit more mobile where I could sit in a different room and stitch, and also if I travel with work, and I could take my stitching away with me then as well. So I had a look on the website following watching Luda's video and just couldn't find anything that was UK based for this site, but I did find this Elbesee frame, and I thought, well, do you know what, for the price of it, I'll give it a go and see how it is. So yeah, without further ado, let's have a look and I'll show you the setup and what came in the box. So I ordered my seat frame from Amazon, and I'll put the link below for you. So I got mine through Prime and it was £28, but I do know you can buy it cheaper than that if you don't get Prime delivery, which would mean, you know, you're sort of getting it within a day or so. So if you're prepared to wait a little bit longer, there are vendors where you could get this cheaper. So mine actually came with a 6-inch, an 8-inch and this 10-inch hoop as well, which I think is really great because it means you can stitch on multiple projects of all different sizes. So I think this would probably cater for just about everything. I've been using this mid-size hoop to stitch one of my Nora Corbett pieces, and then obviously my larger hoop I've got my Heaven and Earth design on. Not had a use for this one yet, but I'm sure some of the Christmas ornaments will work just fine with it. So the first thing about the hoops and the overall quality of this really surprised me because it was inexpensive. I was expecting it not to be of such good quality, but the wood's really smooth, which is, I think, is important. So every component is well made and it's really smooth. The other thing that I like about it also is that the depth of the hoops are quite deep as well. So my traditional hoops were probably about half the depth of this, which meant that often the tension wasn't so good and you would, constantly having to be readjusting the hoops all of the time, which is why I moved to the Q snaps, just because I would get a better tension. But obviously I've been working on my Heaven and Earth on the larger hoop, and the tension's pretty good. It's not completely drum tight, but I would say the tension's really good, and I'm not having to readjust the hoop to make the tension good. So within my kit, I got 3 hoops. I got 3 of these sort of stand posts, and then I got my seating sort of paddle with the extra part there where you sort of attach those bits too. So everything came in there. As I said, it's all equally as well made, but you're not having to take each hoop off when you want to use it. So you can make up all of the hoops with the little posts on individually, so you're then not having to think, well, I want to use the 8-inch hoop, now I need to change it over. So they come with enough parts. It's really easy to make up. So it comes with 3 sets of screws, so you've got all of the screws that you need to be able to build all 3, which I think is great. One of the things from watching Luda's video, and there's also a video from Maureen at Cross Stitch Button, which I'll link as well, because Maureen has the Class and Guessman frame on a table clamp as well, which I think is a really good idea. The only things that are really different with this, obviously Elbesee one, is that you've got plastic components, where the Class and Guessman one, all of this would be wooden, and I guess obviously you're going to pay an awful lot more money for that, and you really do, but it depends what you're happy with. And to be honest, this works really well for me. I've not had any issues with this slipping. The wing nut here makes sure you can tighten everything really securely, and you've got like this plastic bumper there which really helps keep everything tight while you're working on it, meaning you can adjust the height and angulation for yourself as you're working. So now we've explored this in some depth, I'm going to show you how I use it seated. So I just wanted to point out how this moves. So obviously with the hoop in, the paddle on, this lifts and tilts backwards and forwards so you can get to your work at the back. And then you can pretty much angle it in any direction that you want. There's a little plastic nut on the side, which means that this will move literally 360 degrees to get it into the position that you want it, which means you can sit on the paddle or, you know, work with the paddle any way that you want to. So my preference is just to slide it in between my legs like that, so to clamp it in between my knees, and then you can just adjust the hoop to whatever height you want. You can also raise by twisting on the little knob on the side. You can also lift it to a higher height if you want to, or you can have it as low down as that. So there is some good range of height on it as well. And as I said, you can rotate it to any kind of degree that you want and lift it too, which means if you didn't want to sit on it like that, you could also slide it. I'll do it that way because you might be able to see. Slide it underneath your hip like that. Because you can twist the hoop around, you could also work on it like that if that's your preference. But I'm really enjoying this stand, and if there's people who are considering what to buy, I mean, I do have a review on the Monstrix stand as well, which I will link below. I think that's a great frame, especially if you're stitching on some of the really big heaven and earth designs, or you want to use your Q-snap. The only consideration with particularly the Monstrix stand is that it's really large and it will take up quite a lot of space. If you have a dedicated place to stitch, it's fine if you've got a stitchy room. I don't as such, so obviously it sits in my front room and looks a bit big and ugly. but for me, this is, you know, in terms of tension and usability, equally as good, a fraction of the price, and incredibly portable. And it's allowed me to be able to stitch in different rooms without having to move the big Monstrix stand around. So I personally think this is a great addition to my stitchy stash, and if you're in the market for any type of frame and maybe a seat frame, then this is a great cost-effective solution, so I would highly recommend this. I hope that's been useful for you, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care guys, bye bye, thanks for watching.